Hey! Happy December all! In this video, let me tell you 7 locations that I went to in Shikoku that I recommend. I'm gonna show you the types of places I went to, the food that was there, and a real honest review. But I'm gonna be honest, so if it wasn't good, I'm gonna tell you that. If it was good, I'm also gonna tell you that. I have my phone that has the locations that I went to. So the first one, it's a ramen place. Dōnoura Tokushima Daigakumae-ten, and it's nearby the university there. Links are going to be in the description below, that way you don't have to search for it. We get inside, right? Go inside, and as you can see in the video right here, there's this ramen, right? And the thing about this ramen that's different is the topping. The topping right there, you can see that little fried fish. So good. It's a little crunchy, has a little flavor. It's famous in the area for that fish. I don't remember the name of the fish. In terms of the flavor, it was, oh my goodness, amazing. You take a bite of noodles, take a bite of that little fried fish. Wow. And what's crazy is, it's so subtle and light that I could eat this so often, I feel like. The people in the location, so the waiter, the individuals inside the restaurant, they explained, if you get the set, so a set comes with rice, they saw me start to eat the rice by itself, and then they said, no, don't eat the rice. The thing you do with the rice is you wait till the end. So you eat the noodles, right? You finish your noodles, you finish the fish, you're left with some broth. Instead of kaidama, which is another set of noodles, here you take the rice and you put it into the bowl. And now you stir it up and you have a bowl of porridge basically, and you eat that. Not bad at all. I'm not the biggest fan of porridge, but the flavor of the soup with the fish and the noodles, which were thin, was very good. Highly recommend it. I give this dish 8 out of 10. So in terms of this restaurant, 8 out of 10 recommendation. I think if you're in the area, try to find it. The next spot, since this Shikoku is famous for udon, the next location I'm going to be talking about is a spot called Udon. And this, so let me start off by saying, udon is not my number one choice for noodles. I like soba, I like ramen, I mean, anything really except for udon because it's thick, right? But what was so pleasant about this was it was thin. It was not like super thick. So it was thin noodles in a very sweet broth, and then they added little thin slices of beef. I mean, the flavor, you were like in Flavor Town. It was pretty amazing actually. So the thing about this is I actually enjoyed it. I didn't think I was gonna be a fan of udon, but I will say that this was really delicious. All the flavors there, the soup was really filling, and because it was a cold day and it was warm, maybe it made it that much more exciting, but it was like really warmed me up. So for that was really nice. And the people there were really, they were really old, like your typical grandma, grandpa cooking. Because I had my hair up, so they thought it was a weird, interesting style, and they didn't know how it was done. They said, this is actually what they said. They said, I've seen that on TV a lot, but I've never seen it in person. How do you do that? And then she was almost gonna touch my hair, which I was fine with, I don't care. But she didn't do it. But as you can see here, the food, I like it. And I had to get a little bit of the saba sushi because they had the option and it was not that expensive. That was really delicious. So if I had to make a rating on this one, I'm going to roll with, God, I don't rate things highly usually, but I'm gonna go with an 8 out of 10 again. It was good. And the atmosphere was just a relaxing, chill, not crowded, not loud type of feel. And they had a little TV on in the background, so if you're out in Takamatsu area, I recommend this location. Now the next location is a place called Maimai. It's on Naoshima. So if you go to Naoshima, which is an island that you have to take a ferry to get to, if you get there, there's a lot of little shops on the island you can find. And I'm sure they're all good. But the one I went to was this location called Maimai. And why did I don't know why I went there. I just looked for places to eat, and that was one of the top rated ones. Here's what I think. It's a fish burger place. And they give you a fish burger, well, an option for a fish burger, and then if you want a set, it's not fried potatoes or French fries, but it's actually hash brown. And the thing is, blew my mind. Usually with a fish burger, I expect a similar taste, not to McDonald's fish sandwiches, but most fish sandwiches taste like the McDonald's fish sandwiches, which is just your typical, I think it's a cod in there, almost like fish sticks, where you eat it and you're like, okay, it's fish, right? This fish tasted like they caught the fish. I'm pretty sure they didn't, I can't guarantee, but it tasted like fish, like fresh fish, just deep fried. It was utterly amazing actually, like the flavor was, so if you're a fan of fish, then you have to try this sandwich out. Like, I know it's not a typical Japanese food, but this was really amazing. And if you're on the island of Naoshima, it's just in the middle of the area, so you just have to go a little out of the ways, but I recommend it. And the thing is, if I'm gonna rate it, I'm gonna rate it a 9 out of 10. Like, it's that good. The fish, I was blown away. I was like, wow, this isn't like your typical fish taste. Yeah, this location, 9 out of 10. Next spot. So far, we've gone to 3 locations, right? All of them have been 8, 8, 9, so top tier stuff. Next spot is a place called Kawafuku. Now, here's the story behind that. This location is in the Shintensho, so it's in a little area, what do we call it in America? Like an indoor mall, but not really indoor mall. It's like, it's a strip mall. Let's say it's a strip mall type of thing. But this type of udon was a little different. The image on the outside had basically a sukiyaki visual with udon, so sukiyaki udon, right? And so I love sukiyaki, and if I can mix it with udon, I think that'd be something to try out. So we went inside, tried it out, got some at least inari with it, just, you know, to add some a little snack, I guess, if you will, to have lots of vegetables. It was good, sweet because of the sukiyaki sauce. I wouldn't go as far as to say I recommend coming back to this location. I was gonna give it a 7, but maybe I'll give it a 6 because it's not the most memorable location. If you're in Japan and you have sukiyaki and you have udon quite a bit, this isn't like something that's gonna blow you away. There's many other restaurants that are probably very similar that you could try. So I wouldn't go as far as to say if you're in Shikoku for a vacation that you should come here. I mean, if you're from America, I mean, you can try it for sure because it's something that's not quite what they have in America. I mean, what we have in America is weird. Not really, I would consider Japanese food, to be honest. I'd say this is a 6 out of 10. It was good, but I wouldn't say I would be coming back to the location. The next location, very small amount of video I have for this. It's a place called Mitsubachi, and basically they serve bakery items, pastries, that type of thing. And we went there for breakfast before going into the mountains, and honestly, all I did was Google search to find this location, and it was on the way, so I went there. There are these French bread little sandwiches. Those, we bought 3 of them. They were amazing. And the reason I say they're amazing is because in Japan, you can't really find locations that are going to serve you French bread with anything on top for the most part. If it is, it's going to be done maybe incorrectly or not as crunchy, or just, it doesn't have that same feel to it. But this literally was like the best I've had in Japan. It's probably not the same. I mean, imagine a bagel bite in America, except better, right? Except more crunchy. It just had that substance in it. All the stuff on top was typical Japanese, I think, in a pizza ingredient. But then the bread was really crunchy, which made it that much better. This location I'd rate 8 out of 10. Just another hands down great place if you're gonna go to breakfast on your way to the mountains. So on your way to Iya Valley, let's say, good spot. The next location is Hirome Market. And Hirome Market is famous if you're down in Kochi, right? And the thing about this location is it has a lot of little stands. But there are a few locations in there that you should stop by. And I stopped by 3 spots. 2 of them were for katsuo. One they cook it right in front of you. That one we tried, and to be honest, here you can see it. You can see them cooking it right here, and they take the hay, they put it underneath, they fire it up, they take the fish, and then they cut it up, right? The thing is, after I ate that one, it tastes like sashimi. So basically katsuo sashimi, which is good. But that's not the taste you're supposed to have when it's grilled like that. It's supposed to have a grilled taste to it. So if you see the one that because I don't remember the names of these locations, but if you see the one that they're cutting it up after they grill it in front of you, that's gonna taste like sashimi, which is still a nice flavor, but it's not the best location for katsuo. The best location is a little more in Hirome Market, and it's more expensive. It's about double the price, I think. But that flavor, and you can see the images here, but that flavor is very much charcoal. You get this grill taste with your katsuo, and the combination of the two is insane. You have 2 options. You have salt and you have tare. The number 1 recommendation is to have it with salt. So to be honest, if you come here, go get the more expensive one, get it with salt, and you won't be disappointed. It's insane. Also, they also have deep fried, I believe it was wakame or seaweed. Either way, it was deep fried seaweed, and I've never had that before, and I didn't think it was gonna taste good. Jesus Christ, it was amazing. It's not too heavy, and you have this, obviously the flavor of wakame with a little bit of tempura batter to it. And those things were amazing. They look strange, but also recommend it. And it's also at the same location where it's the more expensive katsuo. So in combination, you can just actually eat all of them in one spot. Great deal, I think. So if you're going to Hirome Market, I recommend you go. That's 10 out of 10. Literally the location, that's a 10 out of 10. The other location, if you're gonna get the one that they cook it in front of you, is 6 out of 10. So, I mean, you have the options to go to both. I suggest you go to the one. I will look up the name actually, and I'll put it in the description below, because it's a 10 out of 10. You have to go to that one spot. So I will put it in the description below. So check that out. And the last location is a place called Tosa Tataki Dojo. Now this location is also for katsuo. It's also in Kochi. And the thing that's special about this location is you get to go in, take your pitchfork. Well, actually they jam it into the fish. They already pre-pick fish. You basically have a whole selection of fish to choose from. You take the fish, you go over to the fire, they put the hay into the fire, and you basically grill your own meal. They tell you everything what to do. And it's hard to get video or photos because they're yelling at you to basically focus on cooking your food and don't take photos. It's sort of like they're yelling at you, sir. But you put it in there, it's really hot, like your face is just on fire, and you're cooking it, and then you take it off. It's grilled basically all around, and then you give it to them. They cut it up for you. They ask you really quick, you want it in a set with rice, or do you just want to eat it like sashimi? And then they put it onto a plate, and literally in like half a minute, it's on the table and you get to eat. It's so fast, and I can only assume that the amount of people that they get in there is quite a bit. Let's say the flavor is 7. The experience is 8, so I recommend this place has a 7.5. It's a great time to experience cooking a special way to cook the fish. How about that? If you just want the flavor of the fish, then I recommend going back to Hirome Market and just continue to go to the same spot, because that place hands down is 10 out of 10. But if you want to have that experience of cooking your own fish, try this place out. These were my 7 places that I recommend if you're ever in Shikoku. There are many more places obviously to go to, but this is the top 7 that I've chosen. I might go back there in the future, and I might actually find some new places. So subscribe to the channel to see more in the future, and thank you for watching. Hopefully I see you in the next one. Peace out.